When we express a ratio, we generally write it in its lowest terms. That is, if we express it as a fraction, we cancel any common factors. So if we have 10 feet over 80 feet, we would cancel the factor of 10, leaving a 1 up top and 8 down below, so we'd be left with 1 over 8. But not only that, we can cancel a factor of feet and feet on the top and the bottom, since when we are dealing with units, you can treat them in pretty much the same way you have factors. So you can see if we have 10 feet over 80 feet, we would express that as a ratio of 1/8. So also, when we're talking about gear ratios specifically, we would express this as the number of teeth in the driven gear divided by the number of teeth in the driving gear. Because generally when you're talking about gears, one of them is is driving the motion, the other one is being driven by the motion. So find the ratio of the system shown if A is the driven gear and B is the driving gear. A has 64 teeth and B has 16 teeth, so I'm just going to put in the various numbers. It looks like we should do the driven divided by the driving. So this is going to be 63 teeth divided by 16 teeth. And I could add teeth on there as units, but in any case, when we reduce this, there's a common factor of 16 that we can cancel out here, because 16 is a factor of 64. It's also a factor of 16. Divide each of these by 16. We get a 1 down below, because 16 divided by 1 is 16 divided by 16 is 1. 64 divided by 16 is 4, though. So we get a ratio of 4 over 1. Now, normally if we're just dealing with numbers, I would write this as a number 4. But typically when we're dealing with ratios, they're always, it's the number of teeth in the driven gear divided by the number of teeth in the driving gear. So if we say 4 to 1, then this would be 4 teeth in the driven gear per 1 tooth in the driving gear. We generally still leave it as a ratio, or we still leave it as a fraction. And oftentimes when we're expressing these ratios, we use a colon instead of using a fractional form. So a ratio of 4 to 1 would typically be written in this way.